Welcome back. Today we're diving into some fascinating ideas about the power of the mind.
Sounds intriguing.
We're going to be exploring John Kehoe's mind power into the 21st century.
Okay, yeah. I've heard that one.
It's all about how our thoughts can actually shape reality.
Right, right.
And I'm really interested to get your insights on this. What stood out to you from this book?
Well, Kehoe covers like a whole bunch of different things from visualization and affirmations, to like the subconscious mind and even dreams.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot packed in there.
The thing that really kind of hit me was how much he stresses that we're not just passively watching reality unfold, we're like active participants in creating it.
That's a powerful idea.
It really is.
And he uses some pretty interesting examples to kind of illustrate that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like that basketball experiment.
Oh, right. That one where players who only practice mentally, they actually improved almost as much as those who, physically practice.
Right. Yeah, that's the one. What do you think that tells us?
Well, it kind of shows you that our brains can't always tell the difference between, like, a super vivid mental experience and a real one, you know? It's like
Hmm.
the mind doesn't always know it's just a simulation.
That's a concept that you can really apply to so many different areas of life too.
Absolutely.
Like athletes visualizing winning a game, or musicians mentally rehearsing a difficult piece.
Totally. Or even someone getting ready for a big presentation, like
Hmm.
practicing it in their head over and over.
Yeah,
That mental rehearsal, it can be a seriously powerful tool for getting better at something.
totally. And it all ties into another idea Kehoe explores called seeding.
Yeah, seeding.
Can you explain what that is and how it works?
Sure. So it's basically like taking visualization
Yeah.
and really ramping it up, right? You're not just seeing the outcome you want, you're really adding in the emotion.
Hmm.
Feeling the joy, that sense of accomplishment as if it's already happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of like imagine planting a seed. You're not just seeing the seed in the ground, you're picturing it growing, feeling the sun on your face as you like harvest the fruit. That emotional connection, that's what makes the whole visualization come alive and really boosts its power.
So it's not just about seeing it in your mind's eye, it's about engaging all your senses.
Exactly. Like the more senses you can bring into it, the more real it feels to your subconscious mind.
It's almost like creating this 4D mental movie, huh?
Exactly. And speaking of the subconscious, Kehoe is really big on the idea that we need to work with it, not against it. It's like having this secret partner who's incredibly strong, but also really open to suggestion.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Oh,
Makes you realize how important it is to pay attention to the kinds of thoughts and beliefs we're, feeding it.
yeah, totally.
Like if we're constantly stuck on negative thoughts, anxieties, that's what our subconscious is going to latch onto and try to manifest. Right.
Yeah, that's sadly kind of how it works. But the flip side is pretty cool too.
Okay, good.
When we make a point of feeding it positive thoughts, beliefs and expectations, it's like it starts working over time to bring those things to life.
Right. So it's like we can actually influence the subconscious to work in our favor.
Totally.
Okay. So that makes sense, but what about those times when you get stuck in a loop of negative thinking, those
Huh?
self-doubt spirals?
Ugh. Yeah.
Kehoe talks about using affirmations as a way to deal with that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Affirmations are basically these positive statements you repeat to yourself over and over to kind of reprogram your thought patterns. And the cool thing is, you don't even have to totally believe them at first. The repetition is what really matters.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, think about a record player, right? The more you play a certain track, the deeper that groove gets in the vinyl. Eventually, it overrides the old scratchy one.
I love that analogy.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah. But I have to admit, I really struggle with making affirmations a regular habit. Do you have any tips for how to stick with it?
Well, Kehoe, he suggests keeping them short and snappy,
Hmm.
like almost like little mental mantras. And, try to find those little pockets of time throughout the day,
Okay.
like when you're, driving or standing in line or even doing chores. Just slip them in there.
Right.
The key is to just do it consistently.
Yeah.
Even a few minutes each day can make a difference over time.
Okay. So it's about making it a practice, not a one-time thing.
Exactly. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And speaking of practice, Kehoe talks about another powerful tool, acknowledging success. Sounds simple, right?
Yeah, it does, but I have a feeling it's not quite that straightforward.
Well, you're right. It's about really taking the time to recognize and celebrate your accomplishments.
Mhm.
both the big ones and the small ones.
Okay.
It's so easy to get caught up in what we haven't achieved yet.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm guilty of that.
We forget to look back and really acknowledge how far we've come.
Right.
He even suggests keeping a success journal,
Ah,
a place to write down your wins, all your positive qualities, like creating this tangible reminder of like all the awesome things you've done.
I love that. It's a good reminder that we're often way too hard on ourselves, you know?
We are.
Like that inner critic can be brutal sometimes.
Yeah, it can. And it can really hold us back from, tapping into that mind power. That's why Kehoe's really big on really understanding and working with our beliefs.
Oh, right. I remember he uses that really vivid metaphor about our limiting beliefs, swallowing mental snakes.
Oh, yeah, that one sticks with you, huh?
It does. Those false beliefs that can really mess us up mentally and even physically. It's a pretty powerful image.
Yeah, it really drives the point home.
But how do we actually identify and get rid of these mental snakes?
Well, Kehoe suggests a pretty simple but effective exercise. You basically write down all your belief about a specific area of your life where you're struggling.
Yeah.
And don't hold back. Just let it all out. Once you've got it all down, take a look at what you've written and try to pick out those beliefs that are holding you back.
Okay, so let's say I'm having a hard time with money right now. I'd write down everything I believe about money, wealth, even my ability to, earn money.
Exactly.
And then I look for those limiting beliefs like money is the root of all evil or I'm just not smart enough to be wealthy.
Yeah, stuff like that. See, the thing is, those beliefs, they might not even be true. They're just thoughts that have kind of taken root in your mind.
Right.
Once you've identified them, you can start to challenge them and replace them with more, helpful beliefs. Kehoe calls this process imprinting.
Imprinting. What's that all about? Is it like brainwashing yourself or something?
No, no, not exactly. It's more about consciously and consistently feeding your subconscious with those new empowering beliefs,
Yeah.
through repetition and really feeling them.
So it's kind of similar to how we use affirmations, but it's more about changing deeply ingrained beliefs.
Yeah, it's like, imagine you've got a garden, right? And it's totally overgrown with weeds. You wouldn't just sprinkle a few flower seeds and hope for the best.
No.
You'd have to, pull out all those weeds first. Then you can carefully plant the seeds, water them, and give them what they need to grow strong.
Okay, I'm with you.
Imprinting is kind of like that. You're clearing out the old unhelpful beliefs and
Right.
planting new, stronger ones.
Mm.
And you do that through, consistent repetition and by really feeling the truth of those new beliefs.
That's a great analogy. So it's not just about understanding it intellectually, it's about connecting with it emotionally.
You got it. And this brings us to another really important aspect of mind power, our self-image.
Okay, yeah, our self-image,
Yeah.
the picture we hold of ourselves in our minds.
Yeah, exactly.
How does that fit into all of this?
Well, Kehoe says that our self-image has a huge influence on how we experience life. It's like it acts as this filter through which we see the world and ourselves. And it's, if we see ourselves as unworthy or like a failure or unlovable, well, we're more likely to attract those kinds of experiences, things that confirm those beliefs.
So if we want to change our reality, we need to start by changing how we see ourselves.
Exactly. And the good news is our self-image isn't set in stone. We can actually change it through conscious effort.
Okay, this is getting really interesting. Tell me more about how we can upgrade our self-image and start seeing ourselves in a more empowering light. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we upgrade our self-image and see ourselves in a more empowering light? I mean, it feels like something that's so deep down.
It's a process for sure.
Yeah.
But Kehoe, he actually lays out some really powerful techniques for shifting how we see ourselves. He talks about 3 key concepts: uniqueness, self-acceptance, and then self-confidence.
Uniqueness, self-acceptance, and self-confidence. I mean, those sound like buzzwords you see on inspirational posters. What do they actually mean in terms of reshaping our self-image?
Well, uniqueness, it's all about recognizing and celebrating what makes you you.
Hmm?
Your quirks, those unique talents, your perspective. It's like seeing yourself as this one-of-a-kind masterpiece, not some mass-produced copy.
I love that. And what about self-acceptance? What does that mean?
Self-acceptance is about letting go of the need to be perfect and embracing yourself, flaws and all. Recognizing that you're worthy of love and belonging just as you are. We all have those voices in our head telling us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not thin enough. Self-acceptance is about silencing those voices and choosing to love and accept ourselves unconditionally.
That's so powerful. But I think it's something so many of us struggle with. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us we need to be better, do more, have more.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge in our culture. But remember, those messages are external.
Hmm.
True self-acceptance, it comes from within. It's about choosing to define your own worth, not letting society or other people define it for you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So what about self-confidence? Where does that fit in?
Self-confidence is about trusting your gut, you know, believing in your abilities and knowing that you can handle whatever challenges come your way.
Mm.
It's not about being arrogant or thinking you're better than others. It's about this deep-seated belief in yourself and your ability to navigate life's ups and downs.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these three things kind of all work together. Like, uniqueness is about embracing who you are, self-acceptance is about loving who you are, and self-confidence is about believing in who you are.
You got it. They're all connected. And the more we cultivate those things within ourselves, the more our outer reality is going to start to reflect that.
So it's not just about changing our thoughts, it's about changing our whole self-perception.
Exactly. And that's where the power of imprinting comes in again. Remember that. We can use affirmations and visualizations to reshape our self-image, just like we use them to change any other belief.
So I could use affirmations like, I am unique and valuable, or I love and accept myself unconditionally, or I am confident in my ability to succeed.
Exactly. And the key is to really feel those words as you say them. Imagine yourself like embodying those qualities.
Hmm.
See yourself as that confident, self-assured person you want to be. The more you do that, the more your self-image will start to shift.
I love how all these techniques kind of connect and build on each other. It's like we're creating this powerful feedback loop. We change our thoughts, which changes our self-image, which changes our reality, which then reinforces those positive thoughts.
That's exactly it. And this process, it's not limited to personal development either. Kehoe talks about how these mind power principles, can be applied to every area of our lives, our relationships, finances, health, even our creative potential. Where do you want to dive into next?
Well, I'm really intrigued by this concept of turning problems into opportunities. It feels especially relevant now with so much uncertainty and change happening in the world. Is that something Kehoe talks about?
Absolutely. He has a whole chapter on it. And it's not about putting on those rose-colored glasses and pretending everything's perfect. It's about approaching challenges with a different mindset,
Mm.
one that sees, possibilities even when things are tough.
So it's not about denying that problems exist. It's about choosing to see them through a different lens.
Exactly. Kehoe talks about shifting our perspective from, I have a problem, to, what is this problem trying to teach me?
It's a subtle shift, but I can see how powerful that could be. Like, instead of getting bogged down in all the negative emotions, we're focusing on the potential for learning and growth.
Precisely. And he suggests asking ourselves some key questions when we're faced with a problem. Like, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? What new possibilities might this open up?
It's like instead of seeing it as this roadblock, we're reframing it as like a challenge to overcome, a stepping stone to something better.
You got it. And he tells this really inspiring story about a woman named Nancy Spencer. She got deserted by her common-law husband, and was left with, like, 3 young kids, no money, no job skills. It was a really tough situation.
Oh, wow, that's awful. What did she do?
Well, she made this conscious decision to see this experience, as an opportunity for growth. She realized that her dependence on others had been holding her back. So she vowed to become strong and independent for herself and her kids.
So she basically used this crisis as a catalyst for personal transformation.
Exactly. She embraced mind power techniques, developed her self-confidence, and eventually started her own successful business.
Hmm.
Such a powerful example of how we can choose to create something positive, even when faced with, like, incredible adversity.
That's really inspiring. It really shows how our perspective and mindset can make such a difference.
Totally. And Kehoe, he emphasizes that everyone, regardless of their situation, has the potential to overcome challenges and achieve success. He even talks about the power of our beliefs in the healing process.
Wait, our beliefs can influence our physical healing? I'm not sure I buy that.
It might sound a little out there, but there's actually a lot of evidence to back it up. Kehoe points out that, like, negative thoughts, stress, all that worry, it can actually weaken our immune system and make us more vulnerable to getting sick.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we've all felt how stress can show up physically.
Yeah.
Headaches, upset stomach, or even catching a cold when you're run down.
Exactly. And on the flip side, Positive thoughts, a sense of purpose, and a belief in our own healing abilities
Mm.
can actually boost our immune systems and help us heal.
So you're saying that like believing that we can heal can actually help us heal.
Right. He shares some amazing stories of people who have used mind power techniques, like visualization and affirmations, to overcome some really serious health challenges.
Really? Like what?
Right. Well, he talks about this man, Martin Brofman, who was diagnosed with this malignant tumor in his spinal cord. The doctors basically gave him just a few months to live. But Martin, he refused to give up. He decided to use mind power to heal himself.
How did he do that?
He visualized the tumor shrinking, he imagined his immune system attacking the cancer cells, and he repeated this affirmation. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better.
What happened?
Well, 2 months later, he went back for a checkup, and the doctors were stunned. The tumor was completely gone.
Wow, that's unbelievable. It's like he literally visualized himself back to health.
It is pretty incredible. And Kehoe, he's adamant that Martin's story is not an isolated case. He shares so many examples of people using mind power techniques to support their body's natural healing process.
That's really inspiring. It's like it gives so much hope to anyone facing health challenges. Are there other examples of this mind-body connection?
Oh yeah, tons. He mentions this woman who almost never gets sick. And she attributes that to this belief she's always held. I'm just not the type of person who gets colds. Her belief in her own immunity actually seems to protect her.
Wow. So it's like our beliefs about our health can actually manifest in our bodies. That's powerful.
It is. He also discusses the placebo effect,
Yeah.
where people experience positive results from treatments that actually have no medical value.
Mm.
Studies have shown that the placebo effect can be incredibly strong, sometimes even stronger than medication.
So it's like our belief in the treatment is actually what's doing the healing.
That's the idea. It really highlights the power of the mind to shape our physical experiences.
Okay, you've blown my mind. This is all starting to make so much sense. So we can use mind power to, improve our self-image, turn problems into opportunities, even support our physical healing. What about our finances? Can mind power help us with, achieving financial success?
Absolutely. Kehoe has a whole section on cultivating what he calls prosperity consciousness.
Prosperity consciousness. It sounds like a fancy term for positive thinking about money.
It's more than just positive thinking, though. It's about developing this deep-seated belief in the abundance of the universe and your own ability to attract wealth.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from a scarcity mindset where you see lack and limitation everywhere to an abundance mindset where you see opportunity and possibility.
So it's about changing our fundamental beliefs about money.
Exactly. Kehoe, he believes that most people, they operate from a scarcity consciousness. They think things like there's not enough to go around or money is hard to come by or I'll never be rich. And those beliefs, they end up creating this self-fulfilling prophecy.
So if we want to attract more wealth, we need to start by changing those limiting beliefs.
Right. He actually outlines 5 practical steps to developing prosperity consciousness.
5 steps. Okay, I'm all ears.
All right. The first one is to develop prosperity beliefs. This means consciously choosing beliefs that support abundance. Things like the universe is infinitely abundant or money flows to me easily or I am worthy of wealth and success.
Okay, so it's that imprinting technique we talked about before, right? Replacing those old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones.
Exactly. Step 2 is to look for and acknowledge abundance in your life right now.
So appreciate what we already have, even if it's not a lot of money.
Exactly. Do you have great friends, good health, creative ideas, a loving family? Think about the areas where you're already experiencing abundance and feel gratitude for them.
Okay, yeah. Gratitude, it's such a powerful emotion. It really helps us shift our focus from what we're lacking to what we already have.
Right. The third step is to recognize and associate with success everywhere.
What does that mean?
It means training yourself to see success all around you. Admire other people's achievements, celebrate their wins. Don't harbor envy or resentment, but see their success as proof that it's possible for you too.
I love that. It's like we're aligning ourselves with the energy of success rather than the energy of lack.
You got it.
Yeah.
The fourth step is to surround yourself with positive influences. Read inspirational books, listen to, motivating podcasts, connect with people who are achieving what you want to achieve.
So it's about feeding our minds with ideas and stories that support our goals.
Exactly. And the fifth and final step is give more than you receive.
So it's about generosity and giving back to the world.
Right. Kehoe, He's a big believer that the more we give, the more we receive. And giving doesn't just mean money. It can be our time, our talents, our love, our support.
It's a beautiful concept. Like we're creating this flow of abundance, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
Exactly. And he believes that this generosity, combined with the other four steps, is the key to unlocking true financial freedom and living a life of abundance.
Okay, I'm totally inspired to start cultivating prosperity consciousness. But what about like our relationships with others? Can mind power help us create more fulfilling connections?
Absolutely. Kehoe, he goes deep into how powerful the mind is in shaping our relationships. He talks about the importance of seeing everyone, including ourselves, as these unique and valuable individuals worthy of respect and love.
So it's about shifting from a judgmental mindset to a more accepting and appreciative one.
Exactly. He encourages us to look beyond people's flaws and see their potential, their inner beauty, their greatness.
It sounds like such a powerful way to approach relationships with more compassion and understanding.
Precisely. And he stresses that it starts with how we treat ourselves.
So if we're constantly criticizing ourselves, putting ourselves down, focusing on all our flaws, we're more likely to project that negativity onto others.
Exactly. He encourages practicing self-love and self-acceptance, reminding ourselves that we are worthy of love and happiness just as we are.
Okay, well, I'm definitely guilty of being my own worst critic sometimes. I need to work on being kinder to myself.
We all do. And Kehoe says that the more we love and accept ourselves, the more deeply we can love and accept other people.
That makes sense. It's like we're expanding our capacity for love by filling up our own cup first.
You got it. And he even gives this powerful technique for shifting our perspective on others, even those who might be, challenging us. He tells this story about a woman who was constantly annoyed by her babysitter. The babysitter was always negative and complaining.
Oh, I know that type.
Yeah. At first, she just tried to avoid her as much as possible. But then she decided to try a different approach.
What did she do?
Well, she started focusing on the babysitter's positive qualities, even if she had to, really dig deep to find them. She started complimenting her, thanking her for her help, and just treating her with kindness and respect.
So she consciously changed how she thought about and interacted with the babysitter.
Exactly. And the results were amazing. The
Yeah.
babysitter's whole mood changed. She stopped complaining as much and even started smiling more.
Wow. That's incredible. It really shows that like our thoughts and energy can actually influence the people around us.
Precisely. Kehoe believes that we have this power to bring out the best in other people
Yeah.
by believing in them, encouraging them, and treating them with love and respect.
This is so inspiring. It gives me hope that even challenging relationships can be transformed with the right mindset and a little effort.
Absolutely. And he emphasizes that this applies to all types of relationships. Romantic relationships, friendships, family, even business partners.
So it's about bringing this conscious awareness and intention to all our interactions.
You got it. He encourages us to see every interaction as an opportunity for growth, connection, and mutual empowerment.
This is beautiful. It's like we're creating this web of positive energy,
Yeah.
uplifting ourselves and everyone we come into contact with.
Right. And he offers this powerful affirmation for attracting the kind of relationships we want. I attract the perfect people and circumstances.
Okay, I'm writing that down. I need that one in my life.
Right. And he says this applies not just to romantic relationships, but to friendships, business connections, mentors, anyone we want to attract into our lives.
So it's about being clear about what we want, believing it's possible, and then taking steps to align our energy with that desire.
You got it. And he encourages us to visualize the relationship we want, feel the joy and fulfillment it brings, and then trust that the universe will orchestrate the perfect connections.
This is so empowering. It's like we're taking charge of our relationship destiny rather than leaving it all up to chance.
Exactly. And he reminds us that we're never alone in this journey. We always have access to our inner wisdom, our intuition, and the support of the universe.
This is incredible. I'm feeling so inspired to start applying these mind power principles to all areas of my life.
That's great to hear. And speaking of applying them, Kehoe, he finishes the book with a chapter on training for the magnificent payoff.
Training for the magnificent payoff. That sounds intense.
It is. He uses the analogy of Olympic champion Mark Spitz, who trained relentlessly for years to get those gold medals.
So are you saying that achieving our goals with mind power, it takes dedication, it takes effort. It's not just about like wishing and hoping.
Exactly. He says that Just reading the book, it's not enough. We have to actually put the principles into practice, consistently and persistently.
So it's like we've been given the training manual, but we got to do the workouts to actually see the results.
That's a great way to put it. He encourages setting aside, specific time each day to do those mind power exercises, visualizations, affirmations, contemplation, dream work.
Okay, so it's about making mind power a regular part of our routine, like brushing our teeth or going for a run.
Exactly. And he reminds us that the results, they might not show up right away, but with consistent effort, we'll eventually achieve what we set out to do.
Okay, I'm in. I'm ready to commit. But what exactly is this magnificent payoff he keeps talking about? What can we actually expect to achieve?
He says, there is a glorious life of power and opportunity awaiting you. Everything that you can conceive of wanting is within your grasp.
Whoa, that's a big promise. So we're not just talking about like achieving specific goals. We're talking about like unlocking our full potential and creating this life of purpose, meaning, fulfillment.
That's it. He truly believes that mind power is the key to living a life beyond our wildest dreams.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired. It's like a whole new world has opened up, a world where we actually have way more control over our reality than we ever
And
imagined.
that's the beauty of mind power. It's not about, denying the challenges of life. It's about approaching them with this new awareness, a new set of tools, and this unshakable belief in our own ability to create change.
I love that. It's not about wishful thinking or magical solutions. It's about tapping into this incredible power within ourselves and using it to shape our lives and even the world around us.
And it's a journey we can all take,
Mm,
regardless of our circumstances or past experiences.
absolutely. So to all you deep divers out there, I encourage you to explore the potential of your mind. Read Kehoe's book, play around with the techniques. Discover what that magnificent payoff might look like for you.
Remember, you're not just watching reality unfold, you're an active participant in creating it.
Your thoughts have power, your beliefs have power, and with practice, you can use that power to create a life that goes beyond your wildest dreams.
So what are you waiting for? Dive in, explore, and unleash the incredible power within you.
Until next time, keep diving deep. And she ended up, finding a better way to manage things. She took a problem and turned it into like a win-win.
Yeah. And Kehoe, he really emphasizes this. Anyone, it doesn't matter what your situation is, has that potential to overcome those challenges
Right.
and find success. And he ends the book, actually, with this final chapter on training for the magnificent payoff.
Training for the magnificent payoff. It sounds like something you need to be like a dedicated athlete for, you know?
Where he uses this analogy of like Mark Spitz, the Olympic champion. He trained for years and years to get those gold medals.
So what you're saying is achieving our goals with mind power, it takes real dedication, real work. It's not just wishing and hoping things will change.
Exactly. He says just reading about it, that's not enough. We have to actually put these principles into practice consistently, really put in the effort.
Right. So it's like we've got the training manual, but we've got to actually get out there and do the workouts to see results.
That's the perfect way to put it. He suggests like setting aside specific time each day for those mind power exercises.
Mhm.
Visualization, affirmations, contemplation, dream work.
So basically make mind power a regular part of our routine, like brushing our teeth or going for a run.
Exactly. And he's careful to point out that the results, they might not come overnight, but with consistent effort, we'll eventually achieve what we're aiming for.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'm ready to commit. But can we talk about what this magnificent payoff actually is? What can we realistically expect to achieve with all of this?
Well, he says, and I'm quoting here, there is a glorious life of power and opportunity awaiting you. Everything that you can conceive of wanting is within your grasp.
Wow, okay, that's a pretty bold statement. So it's not just about like checking things off a to-do list. It's about reaching our full potential, creating a life full of purpose, meaning, real fulfillment.
Exactly. He truly believes that mind power can help us live a life that surpasses even our wildest dreams.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired. Like, we've opened this door to a whole new world, a world where we have so much more control over our reality than we ever thought possible.
That's the beauty of exploring mind power. It's not about pretending life is perfect or that challenges don't exist. It's about facing them with a new awareness, having new tools in our toolbox, and this unwavering belief in our own ability to create positive change.
Yeah, I love that. It's not about magic solutions, but about recognizing this incredible power within each of us and using it to create the life we want and even shape the world around us in a positive way.
And it's a journey that's open to anyone, no matter what their circumstances are or what they've been through in the past.
Yeah, it's so important to remember. So, to everyone listening, I encourage you, explore this potential within yourself. Read Kehoe's book, experiment, try out the techniques, and discover what your own magnificent payoff might look like.
And always remember, you're not just a spectator in your own life. You're an active participant, a
You
creator.
have the power to shape your reality with your thoughts, with your beliefs. And with practice, you can use that power to create a life that truly goes beyond your wildest dreams.
So what are you waiting for? Jump in, explore, and unleash that amazing power within you.
Until next time, keep diving deep.